Welcome back, Final Fantasy 4 episode 4. So, Edward had a hovercraft which can be used to access the Antlion cave. And because, well, if it's a place where only royalty can enter, no big deal, because Edward himself is royalty. And of course there will be enemies in here. And I think I'm gonna make it a policy of cutting out enemy encounters. Even though it might be quite difficult because they appear quite much without any kind of warning. So it may take some sort of sudden jarring cuts to the basic progress, but well, yes, I was about to say it may make very sudden jarring jump cuts to make happen, but their sheer number should tell that. Yes, I was saying that very high encounter rate will make very choppy video, which I have to apologize. Now that I do some pondering, I think I may have found myself some kind of solution to this choppiness problem caused by so many random encounters. I will ramble my point and then try to make these small steps. Except this is such a small little encounter that I can just run it right through it. Yeah, Prince Edward really is not incompetent person. He was barely able to take down one goblin. But of course the place does have some treasures and all that necessary stuff. Those random encounters are just a pest in this game. They are the main source of difficulty, of course, so of course they would have to be there. Now, but there's a little bit of, you could say, interesting detail in this game. I would say in this location. Lamia's harp. Quite many Edward's weapon has a chance of causing status ailments to enemies. But of course, knowing the general effectiveness of status elements in this game, they don't do much. And another little quick encounter with enemies. Although finding that one harp gave a quite big amount of damage boost to Edward, I don't know how. Numerically it doesn't make that much extra damage. Well, it was a critical hit or something like that. And I do say that this game has quite lots of these treasure chests around. I'm gonna take off the random encounter meeting for this rest of this room, because there's just so much of these rooms. And I do say that this room, with its circular design, is very good. And another encounter with a whatever pests these are. Admantois, Basilisk, Lish. Quite remarkable names for not that particularly remarkable critters either. Although visually they may be quite impressive because of their large sprites. But going down to the Antlion's pit. Let's just prep myself with some magics. And now he had to go and annoy the big big monster ant lion. Yeah, it's a boss encounter again. So let's just make use of the quite common summon attack, aka Chocobo Kick. It's usually the first and low level attack. And if I remember right, Antlion does, oh yes, Antlion does counter attacks whenever it gets hit. So it's not, so you need to keep your attacks limited. Because its regular attacks don't do much damage. But the counter does. So let's just spam really summon and hope for the best. Go on, go bird, go and kick its head out. Let's just regular strike processor. It went already down. Must be a result of quite heavy amount of level grinding aided by the boost function of Pixel Remaster. But with that, the Antlion has been defeated. Well, now it is a return trip up here and back to the city of Kaipo, so I think I'll cut off the return trip. And outside Antlion Cave, nothing remarkable on the return trip, so using the nice goings hovercraft to stop by the Damsian Castle, or what's left of it, just to refill the health and magic points. That's dramatic show darkening. And more. But so in this phase of the franchise, Squaresoft had already, you could say, they had found quite winning formula to their game. And now I don't need to go to the cave, which I actually could not even go because it would be waterfall cave, and I could just use the hovercraft to cross over the piece. And there's quite lots of unpleasant looking desert around here. Oh, but here's the city of Kaipo, oasis of the desert. And here should be Rosa. And I have the healing jewel. Why would you need a jewel to heal somebody from a desert-related disease? Hard to know. But, yeah, use the key item from the menu. Well, he already has the fire crystal. So yeah, the team's already had at least one prince or royalty in it. And now we have one more team member of the group, and we have 4 members in it. that's either a monster attacks. And yes, in this one, Final Fantasy 4, they added lots of, you could say, plot events into fighting scenes. So they were not just regular basic encounters, they would be dialogue and all that. I guess he played for worse because the Sahagin appeared from the water to attack him. Oh, that guy is nice, man. And I do say that the name Cecil is... I say it is kind of... It sounds nice. I don't know who was the actual source of that name, that why would you use Cecil, but it's still a completely solid, functional little name. It has that kind of certain kind of, you could say, dignity in it. Well, I'm now just using the hovercraft to head to this mountain area. It's time to make a little save and see what might be going on. And did some preparation, heading towards Mount Hobbs. And with this move, got learned the fire spell, and there's got lots of new kind of things around here, like bombs. These are famous suiciding enemies. Although if I remember right, they didn't yet start suiciding in this one. And if it wasn't already quite obvious, Rosa is more like a better fighter than Edward is. There's plenty of enemy encounters in this place. Well, there's a potion and there's a save spot which I will use. And Rosa being a white mage means that she knows practically nothing but healing and supporting magics. Which are quite... Well, they can be very formidable. Although in this Final Fantasy game, the supporting magics are quite useless, except in those few moments where they are extremely useful. And those moments usually have to be known in advance where you should make use of support magics, so which means that game design wasn't yet that refined about buffs, at least in video games, about buffs, debuffs and all that kind of things which are now named like that. And Rosa's holy arrow does a ludicrous amount of damage to undead, and thanks to the modern And thanks to the Pixel Remaster, their supply is not infinite, it's infinite. Once you found them, you can use them as much as you want, meaning that fire holy arrows wipe out these enemies real nice. Basically one hit, and it's out of picture for good. But Mount Harps has this quite grand music. Oh yeah, game spoiled his name already. His name is Yang. He's a monk of Fabul. An interesting thing about Final Fantasy IV's, you could say, level design and, or you say, world design, is that many of these kingdoms in this game relate very much into relate very heavily into yeah, this is a new bomb, new enemy. Oh, yeah, it starts to look big and heavy. That's a bad omen. Yeah, we know that you're gonna blow. And all I can do against that you blowing up is that's a painful one, and now it made itself into a smaller group of cockroaches. But that dark wave did actually quite impressive load of damage to them. The horde of bombs was destroyed. More characters join the team, and it's full 5 people. And Final Fantasy IV is the only, at least 2D Final Fantasy, in which you could have 5 people in one party. In and also in later Final Fantasy games, you'd have either 3 or 4. Final Fantasy 7 and 8 had 3 people. Final Fantasy 9 had 4. 10 had 3, but you could switch them off on the fly. 12 had 3. 13 had 3. It's usually 3 people, or 3, and this is the only one with 5. And you actually, at least more modern Final Fantasy games use the 3-man team, but the older ones usually used 4-person teams. And there's plenty of new enemies once they arriving to the location. Oh, those things are dangerous. Yeah, that needle attack is really dangerous and powerful. Gotta be careful with that. Yeah, well, I have to recover. Now, that previous fight should have been quite good indicator that there will be a lot of heavy, even the regular enemies at this phase start to get all kinds of nasty gimmicks to use for them. Well, you could say that in that chance that they would have these counter attacks. So you would need to be very careful about how you use. That you really go and defeat the enemies first, so that they would actually take damage. But here looks like to be something. Well, couple of bombs first. These are luckily not that dangerous enemies. But they are still quite dangerous in this game, because, well, difficulty of Final Fantasy IV is quite merciless. Especially when you come to the new areas, you will face many dangerous opponents. And many of course, which especially in big mobs can do quite dangerous amount of damage to you. So saving just as a preparation as always, and preparing to enter. And apparently something's going on already. Well, there are weapon stores. Well, there was a new set of armor for Cecil. And some weaponry for Yang. But after that, there doesn't seem to be anything special in addition to that. So it was time to go and say hello to King of Fabul. That's kind of funny name. And the structure of this place is actually cool, makes kind of sense with it being this kind of circular location, circular castle surrounded by all kinds of things. Yeah, infirmary. And Yang is married and his wife is very good at taking care of him. Or maybe she's an awful nag, awful at nagging, and because of that he's just being so much more eager to actually just go and just go be training instead of actually having domestic love. And King's got his own chamber at the tower as well, but just to the center, time to have a chat with him or see what he has to yell. Oh yeah, of course. And a horde of enemies. Well, that looked to seem to be the first wave. And of course, with airships available, they would make much more bigger damage. More critters coming, but those are nothing really, you could say, scary. Well, even Edward managed to take out one of them. And Yang's kick is quite good, even though attacking mobs, even though it has problem of not hitting really hard. But at least it hits. And of course he is, well, better say I am way upper leveled. Yeah, it's retreating. And yeah, he was momentarily confused and now he is not. That would tell you how effective these status effect attacks are. You could say practically not at all effective. Unless they are used against you. Which of course means that, well, it's quite difficult for these kind of games. Even a more new wave of enemies. And they had a spy here. Kind of smart move to get your own men inside first. To do that kind of thing, move. Especially if they are completely willing to go full kamikaze on. But Yang seems to be having a very high amount of hit points. Even when you look at his level, he's got lots of hit points. Oh damn, Edward fell off. I think Dark Wave should be... well... oh, Edward took a hit. And here's the Room of Crystal. And Kane arrived. And another big so Kane came and he's at the bad guy side and took me down. And the villainous Golbez has made his appearance. Yep, he's doing very much villainous. Haha, I'm taking a hostage. Haha. All typical, very impressive villain-looking things that he's doing. And apparently Kane has become a bad guy. Because, Golbez doesn't look at all friendly. And this kind of hero suffering a big heavy defeat is not that common, I would say. It is quite common narrative trope used. But it's usually quite fun, quite good trope to use. Well, there was some treasure chest, so it's time to go and have a chat with the king again. See what he's planning. Or does he know something about anything? Most likely he should, because he's a king. You have to know these things when you're king, you know. That's what great King Arthur says. So it's time to have a rest, of course. Rest at the inn. Very typical thing in RPGs. And well, in real life as well, but it tends to be quite... no, I will just take a rest. So yeah, even the king seems to know that Golbez is the main bad guy around here, not King of Baron, despite Golbez being obviously in servitude to him. So, but there's the boat, and it is time to actually end this episode right here, and next time it is time to have travel with a boat and see where that goes to. Lots of plot still happening because, well, Final Fantasy has lots of plot in it. See ya.